Many of us know what the ego is. The ego is that desire or thought that then leads to actions of how and in what ways people think about me, perceive me. I need them to think of me in a certain way, in a way that's good. And if in any way something happens that makes me embarrassed, or something that happens that makes me, in my mind, think that other people think of me in a lesser way, that makes me unhappy.
That also makes us pursue the wrong things. If I have a lot of money, people will like me. If I have a really strong career and I have a name for myself, it's all of those things that we chase to feed the ego aspect of ourselves.
And the reason why that's a big problem is because then we are not living in tune and in line with what we actually are, with our soul. Because our soul...
But we can't even hear it if you're in that realm.
Our soul does not care what anybody else thinks. As a matter of fact, the soul couldn't care less about anything that's happening external. But when we live our lives, and to whatever extent we live our lives caring about what others are thinking about us, meaning that type of ego-driven life, that is taking us away from ourselves, taking us away from our essence, and therefore we are incapable of being happy. Because any life that is lived outside of our essence, which unfortunately, if we think about it, and I do think it's important to think about it, how often in a day we think, act, live in ways that are external, all that keeps us away from happiness.
And here's the thing, it starts with each and every day. Jonathan Swift penned, "May you live every day of your life." And if you really think about that, every time I hear that, it stops me in my tracks, because you have to actually think, well, how did I fully live this day? How did I experience this day? And most people go through life and it's just reacting to this or pursuing, again, the wrong things. But what consciousness did you wake up in today? What was your predominant thought? What was the emotion that led that thought? Was it, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z because that's what they expect, or I have to do this chore, or I'm supposed to do this or that? Or is it really something that comes from a deeper space of, I really want to experience life in this way? You will never find happiness. It will always be out of your reach if you don't fully live each and every day from the space of your truest self, from that part of you that really can drown out all that noise that's not real, that's not really important, and by the way, the trick is that same noise, right? That same value you place on being liked or being approved, the players are going to change, right? We had a different person in the 5th grade we cared about, and then somebody in high school or in university, and then in our job, and it keeps going. It's not about the person, it's not about the situation, it's about how much emphasis and weight you place on the wrong things.